Hello, this is Martin and welcome to the channel. I'm going to talk about compassion and self-compassion, a big part of all of our lives. I honestly believe that as a species, as people, we're fundamentally very compassionate. There's this innate knowing within us that we're connected with other people. If you're watching the television and you see somebody sick or somebody suffering, you often feel that emotion, that sense of compassion. Why? They've got no connection with you. You're not going to get anything from them. So why do you care? Because you're human, because you are compassionate and you are kind. I speak to quite a lot of people that are told by various people that their heart chakra is blocked. This upsets me, to be honest. It really makes me quite annoyed because people tell these things to people and it confuses them and it hurts them, and there's no benefit. I don't believe your heart chakra can be blocked, but what happens to a lot of people is life can be painful sometimes. Particularly when we're kids, if somebody hurts us that we love and we trust, and they break that trust, it can confuse us, and people can associate feelings of love or closeness or compassion with pain. And what a lot of us do there, we build a bit of a wall up around the heart, an emotional protection. When I was a kid, a lot of family problems, didn't see most of the family. Not going to go on about that now, but I've become quite strong and quite tough in a way. And I told myself, you can never rely on other people. You can't trust other people. They'll only let me down. So therefore, I'm not going to trust anyone. I'm not going to let anyone close, and I'm going to do everything myself. That's the only way things will be done right. As I grew up, probably 15, nearer 20, I soon realised that this is not healthy for me, and it's a very heavy, miserable outlook looking at the world. As I've got older, I've certainly realised that we need to try and trust other people to let people close. Yes, some of them will let us down, some of them will disappoint or hurt us, but it's so much better than being too isolated. And it's healthy. We need other people, we need connections with other people. A lot of us can be very compassionate to other people. A lot of us can forgive other people, understanding why they've made mistakes or done what we might think of as bad things. And that's a lot easier than to actually be compassionate, to be kind, and to forgive ourselves for things. We're never going to be perfect. We're human beings. We've got different emotions, different drive systems that have evolved within us to help us cope with this world. We deal with a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry, and that's part of life sometimes. But I think we could all be a little bit kinder and more understanding with ourselves, particularly when we feel we've done something wrong or stupid or made a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. It's part of learning. But if we hate ourselves for it and we put ourselves down, it lowers our self-esteem and it makes us feel heavy and horrible, and we can get depressed or sad, can't we? But if we can try and have the attitude, yes, I messed up, but maybe I was just trying to do my best. Maybe I looked at the situation not in the best way. Um, but if we can, when we do mess up or do something wrong, if we can try to be understanding with ourselves and maybe see what we can learn from it and how we can grow, that can be very beneficial. Life's got lots of ups and downs, and personally, I feel a large purpose of us all having these lives is to learn through the ups and downs so that we can grow spiritually, we can grow emotionally. When people suffer greatly, it generally does one of two things. It can make people bitter, angry, and hateful. But normally, when people suffer and go through emotional pain and difficulties, it helps people to grow, to understand other people's suffering, to have more empathy, more wisdom, and more kindness. So we need to try and be more self-compassionate because we can grow more, we can be more open and have better relationships with people. Sometimes the thought of loving yourself and being kind and compassionate to yourself can feel selfish. We've all heard people say about other people, oh, they love themselves, they do. Um, Often referring to them being quite arrogant or self centered. But if you care about other people, that has to include yourself because you're a person too. And if you get into the mindset of trying to appreciate yourself, being aware of your good qualities, if there are shortcomings or negative habits or behaviors, just to try and be aware of them, not to hate yourself because of them, because that's going to disempower you, but again to focus and cultivate the good qualities and the qualities or the shortcomings we don't like, to just be aware of them and try and do something about it and to try and improve over time. Life's difficult. Life is full of challenges. Um, and there are times where we have to put ourselves first. There are times where we got to stop answering the phone if people are telling us all their problems. We've got to stop saying yes to everyone, to do things that we might not have the emotional capacity or the time to do. So really, I'm just encouraging people to be kinder to themselves, to be more forgiving, more understanding. As I said, we can't be perfect. We're human beings living in a material world. If we get into the mindset of being a little bit nicer to ourselves, a little bit more understanding, and a little bit more compassionate, and not so harsh when we mess up, this kind of slowly changes our outlook. It changes the way we think. You know, if we look at neuroplasticity, this really means whatever we do, whatever we think, it creates and strengthens neural pathways within our brain. So if we practice compassion to others and self-compassion, it just becomes more natural. It becomes a bigger part of our lives without us having to make much effort. I do have a couple of self-compassion meditations on my page, and I think I'm going to do another one today or tomorrow. So give it a try. And if you're new to meditation, be compassionate with yourself. You know, sometimes the thoughts come. Don't think, I failed, I can't meditate because a distraction came in. Just bring your awareness back to the meditation or back to the breath, and you'll be okay. So I hope you've enjoyed this little video, and I hope to see you soon.